I would be remiss if we did not talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Because yesterday, in overtime, against the big, bad Boston Bruins, the Montreal Canadiens pulled off a 3-2 win at the Bell Center at the hands of Cole Caufield. He scored the overtime goal, which happened to have been his 40th goal of the season, not only securing the 2 points for a Canadiens team that needs it, but also capping off a beautiful passing play. Hutson to Suzuki, backdoor to Caufield. The goal is scored, and that is all she wrote. But man, oh man, has this been an amazing ride for Habs fans. I've been waiting for this moment all my life, because Cole Caufield has become the first Montreal Canadiens 40-goal scorer in gosh darn 3 decades, people. He is second overall in the NHL in goals. He trails Nathan MacKinnon by 5. He has overtaken Kaprizov and Boldy. Cole Caufield is there, the second guy to 40 goals on the season. And I just wanted to take a little bit of time to appreciate how we got here. Because it was just 7 years ago that Cole Caufield was drafted 15th overall by the Montreal Canadiens, in a year where I was saying I wanted my Vancouver Canucks to take this guy at number 10. Lo and behold, he was only 5'7", which is why he ended up dipping so far in the draft, even though he had set the record for most NTDP goals scored by a guy, 72 goals in 64 games played, following up his 54-goal season the year prior between the U18 and the U17 team. Cole Caufield and Jack Hughes were 2 peas in a pod, both scoring at tremendous rates. They split the NTDP record-setting puck down the middle, and they each kept a half. And then I remember the 2019-20 and the 2020-2021 seasons, where we would make videos every weekend talking about what Cole Caufield was doing in college. It was an amazing time to pay attention to the Canadiens and their prospects. And now, in 2025-2026, the guy is fully here. And the guy is one of the top goal scorers in the National Hockey League. This season, Cole Caufield is on pace for 49 goals. Had he had just played the game he was sick, and had he had scored, maybe he would have been on pace for 50 goals. But at this stage, I would probably argue that this is the most intense time for the Montreal Canadiens, just looking at the standings and looking at the teams they need to go out there and beat. Boston, of course, is in their own wildcard race with the Detroit Red Wings, so obviously they were in the thick of it as well. But as the going gets tough, we see guys like Cole Caufield expand and do well and step up to the pressure in big ways, so I would not be surprised if Cole Caufield maybe reached another gear, if I'm going to be honest. At this point, I feel like anything is possible with this guy. The funny part is, back when he was draft eligible in 2019, I was kind of saying in the Why I Want video, hey, if this guy pans out, he could be a consistent 40-goal scorer in the National Hockey League. And at this point, he is reaching 40 goals for the first time in his career. He is 25 years old, recently turned 25. And I would say probably for 26, 27, 28, Cole Caufield is probably going to be better as he gets older, right? He's making $7.8 million a year till the end of 2031. If he can get a baseline 40 goals per season over the next few years, this is a guy that can demonstrate some tremendous value on the ice in terms of his dollar amount and otherwise, alongside of all the other Montreal Canadiens studs that are making relatively small money. So Cole Caufield, record-setting night, obviously a milestone for him and the Montreal Canadiens. Seeing him respond to the 40-goal drought that Montreal has had. It's been 32 years since the last time a Canadian went out there and scored 40 goals in a season. Cole Caufield has done so now. It's the first of many, hopefully, for him and his profile. But what I also wanted to talk about is the fact that there is another Montreal Canadiens guy who refuses to be left off of the score sheet too. Take a look at this. You had yourself some images going around of Lane Hutson and the defenseman scoring race, which sees him as the number 2 overall defenseman in NHL points, tied with Zach Werenski. Now, it's kind of interesting seeing the points race this year for D. Evan Bouchard is number 1 by a long shot. He's got 77 points. Werenski and Hutson are tied at 69. Cale Makar has 68. And then Quinn Hughes has 67. Hughes actually did have a rough start to the year. He wasn't all too productive, and as a result, he's really needed to get some extra points as a member of the Minnesota Wild to pull himself back up in this list. Cale Makar honestly hasn't had the best season either, but ultimately, Lane Hutson and Zach Werenski have been the 2 guys that have been so consistent this season in terms of the on-ice quality of play they have brought. And Evan Bouchard just scoring everything that moves with McDavid and Draisaitl on that power play, obviously that puts him in pretty good territory as well. However, when you take a look at some of the other stats, it looks even better for Lane Hutson. He is first in the NHL for even strength points on D. He has 50 even strength points. Evan Bouchard has 47, which is ridiculous. You think about it like, wait a minute, the guy has 30 power play points and 7 power play goals? Goodness gracious, he really is going out there and demonstrating some value on the man advantage for Edmonton. Zach Werenski, 49 even strength points. Quinn Hughes is down there at 36, so he's also scored a heck of a lot of points on the power play. Look at this, eh? Even Noah Dobson has more even strength points than Quinn Hughes. He has 37. Quinn has 36. Overall defenseman scoring has Quinn Hughes at 67 points. So 30 of Quinn Hughes' points have been on the man advantage, as has Evan Bouchard's production. So that's a pretty interesting way to illustrate the defenseman scoring race this year. Lane Hutson is in the mix. In terms of even strength points, he is number 1. And ultimately, it is pretty insane, I would say, overall, when thinking about some of the other NHL defensemen. I don't think Lane Hutson is going to go out there and win himself the Norris Trophy this year. If he gets it, I'd say it probably has to happen next year or the year after. It's just this year, I mean, people are still so focused on some of the other names, like the Quinn Hugheses and the Cale Makars and the Werenskis. You could honestly debate that this year should be Werenski's year because he is one of the top point producers for D-men, and he arguably should have won it last year, if you're being totally honest about how he has played. But with all that said, there are so many things to pay attention to for the Montreal Canadiens. Ivan Demidov also leads the rookie class in points, although with Matthew Schaefer just 3 points behind him, and with Schaefer also being first in goals, I do think that Schaefer probably has a better chance at winning the Rookie of the Year award. Also, heading over to points, Nick Suzuki is tied for 9th with Jason Robertson. That's pretty good. Cole Caufield, 2nd overall in goals. Obviously an amazing feat. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these miracle stats for the Montreal Canadiens, seeing all these goals and seeing these defenseman points out of Hutson and Caufield? Thoughts in the comment section below about the game yesterday against Boston. I hope you enjoyed this. And bye.